Vice President Mike Pence speaks out against Maine Senator Susan Collins.
A Farmington man faces murder charges for killing over drug debt.
And we'll take a look at the latest on Hurricane Maria. It's Friday, September 29th, and your NESCom Connection starts right now.
From the campus of Husson University, this is your NESCom Connection.
Vice President Mike Pence says he is disappointed by Susan Collins' decision to vote against the repeal of the Affordable Care Act. Pence made the comment on WGAN radio in Portland, saying the replacement of Obamacare is the best option for the people of Maine and the country.
Collins made a decision after the Congressional Budget Office reported millions would lose their coverage under the new bill.
Obviously, this was an issue to which I've given a great deal of thought because there are many problems in the Affordable Care Act that do need to be fixed. However, it was clear to me that the Graham-Cassidy bill was not the answer.
Governor Paul LePage is sending out a letter to county sheriffs saying they need to cooperate with federal immigration officials. The letter comes after Cumberland County Sheriff Kevin Joyce said he would reject requests from federal immigration officials to hold prisoners in jail longer than their scheduled release dates. Maine's Constitution says a governor can remove a sheriff following a complaint, due notice, and hearing. A Farmington man is being charged with killing another man in a fight over drug debt. Authorities say Timothy Danforth of Wilton killed Michael Reese of New Sharon in June of 2016 over a $200 bag of marijuana. Reese was hit 3 times by shotgun blasts outside the home of Danforth's father. The Sun-Journal reports that Danforth turned down a deal to plead guilty to manslaughter. The paper said Assistant Attorney General Bud Ellis told jurors that Reese was unarmed and it was a case of self-defense. President Trump says it's time for all nations to join forces to isolate what he calls the North Korean menace. Recently, Trump praised China for reportedly breaking off banking relations with North Korea, but it has not been confirmed whether China has done so or not. The president says he will fix what he calls the mess other presidents have failed to deal with. According to the president, the country is, quote, totally prepared for a military option if need be. Netflix CEO and Bowdoin College graduate Reed Hastings is donating $5 million to the college. Hastings is donating the money to start the Thrive program. That's a program aimed at helping low-income and first-generation students. Bowdoin President Clayton Rose said the donation will help students who often have difficulty transitioning to college. When we come back, a Pizza Hut employee has been suspended for defending the restaurant from an intruder.
And lawmakers want to increase recreational sales on marijuana.
A Pizza Hut employee in Montana is suspended without pay after defending the restaurant from an intruder. Police say an armed man barged into the building after robbing teens in the parking lot. 31-year-old employee William Hotop says he grabbed a gun that was kept in the store and exchanged gunfire with the robber. The gunfight ended with the robber fleeing the scene. Police say no one is hurt and no arrests have been made. Hotop is waiting to return to work after being placed on leave of absence. Pizza Hut says with any case involving police, employees involved are on leave of absence during the investigation. The U.S. and Mexico have unveiled a new agreement to preserve water for millions of households and farms that depend on the overused Colorado River. On Wednesday, the two nations formally announced a deal that commits the United States to invest $31.5 million in conservation projects in Mexico. Both countries agreed to work on plans to deal with any shortages of water in the river amid drought and climate change. Well, when we come back, Adam LaFleur will join us with sports.
And we'll also find out what's happening with Husson sports.
Thursday, partly cloudy, temperatures 51 to 75.
So it seems like the temperature is finally starting to cool down.
It is.
Starting to feel like fall again, getting that brisk temperature in the air. It's time to head down to the fairgrounds and get a little soup in a bread bowl and some apple crisp. Well, when we come back, Nintendo is releasing a new console. Nintendo is banking on nostalgia to drive sales during its upcoming release of the Super NES Classic. The console, which releases Friday, is a throwback to the early 90s golden era of Nintendo gaming. I'll tell you what, I never had the Super Nintendo as a kid. It was a relic by the time I was born. I grew up with a Nintendo 64, but that revelation about having to blow into the cartridge is so true. I mean, you had to get every speck of dust off the cartridge, hammer it down like 27 different times, turn it on and off, and then finally, when you see the loading screen pop up, you get that gratification, which people won't know these days because it's all digital now.
Yeah, if you don't blow into it, it's just going to stay on that one screen for all the time in air. I mean, it's probably one of the most depressing feelings as a gamer.
It's a shame. It was more difficult to play the game to start the game than it was actually to even get on playing the game. Mm-hmm. It's just so particular, but very durable. Those cartridges would last forever.
Oh, yeah, they last. I mean, I had a Nintendo 64. It was like 30 years old. That's crazy.
Like 30 years old.
30 years old.
30 years old.
That's probably exaggeration.
It actually hasn't been around for 30 years.
See, that's why I did not know.
But it's okay. That wraps up this edition of NESCom Connection. For more news and sports, check out our NESCom Journalism channel on YouTube.
Good night, everybody.